people who built AI are starting to fear it. And that's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Because if code can be generated by a model, what happens to the coder? Not the legendary senior engineer. Not the architect. The new guy. The junior developer. The bootcamp graduate. The intern. The entire entry layer of software. That's where the panic is real. Because AI can already write usable code. It can scaffold an app. It can debug common errors. It can refactor messy functions. It can generate tests. It can explain a codebase. It can do in minutes what used to take a junior developer days. And if you're a manager staring at budgets, it creates an uncomfortable question. Why hire 3 juniors when one strong engineer plus AI can move faster? That is the quiet shift hitting tech first. And this isn't a Skynet scenario. This is a productivity compression scenario. The kind that doesn't announce itself. It just shows up as fewer openings. More interviews. Higher standards. And a weird new feeling in tech. A field that used to be the safest bet is now acting uncertain. Here's what makes this different from past automation waves. In the past, tools made coders faster. But they didn't replace the thinking. Now the tool is starting to imitate the thinking. Not perfectly. But convincingly enough to change hiring. Convincingly enough to change who gets a chance. And that's why new coders feel it first. Because early career coding has always been about proving you can execute. And execution is exactly what models are getting better at. Writing a CRUD app. Building a landing page. Creating a simple API. These aren't mystical tasks. They're patterns. And AI is a pattern machine. So the fear is rational. Entry-level roles shrink. The ladder tightens. The learn-on-the-job phase gets replaced with already be good. And people call it a bubble. Or hype. Or temporary. But there's a structural shift underneath it. The real shift is not AI writes all software. The real shift is that the value of a coder is moving. Away from typing code. Toward directing systems. Toward choosing the right problem. Toward architecture. Security. Reliability. Performance. Taste. And this is where most people misunderstand what's happening. Because AI can generate code, but it cannot own consequences. It can suggest a solution, but it cannot carry risk. And software is risk. Bad code doesn't just fail quietly. It leaks data. It breaks payments. It destroys trust. It violates regulations. It creates liabilities. That's why AI can code is not the same thing as AI can ship. Shipping is judgment. Shipping is trade-offs. Shipping is knowing what matters and what doesn't. So here's the upside for coders who adapt. AI doesn't replace programmers. It replaces the need for low-leverage programming. It kills the human compiler role. The person who translates tickets into code with no deeper understanding. That role is disappearing. But a new role becomes more valuable. The coder who can think like a product person. The coder who can reason about systems. The coder who can see failure before it happens. The coder who can use AI like an engine, not a crutch. So if you're a coder watching this and thinking, I'm doomed, here's the practical flip. Stop trying to compete on speed. You will lose. Compete on judgment. Compete on clarity. Compete on responsibility. If you're junior, your goal is not to write more code. Your goal is to become the person who understands why code exists. Learn to read production logs. Learn to write tests that matter. Learn security basics. Learn how systems fail. Learn what makes software expensive. Because AI can write code, but it can't own the pager at 3 a.m. Now here's the move that almost no one is thinking about. AI makes small teams dangerous again. One strong developer can now do what a team used to do. That means startups can form faster. Niche products can be built faster. Tools for tiny audiences can become profitable. The barrier to building is dropping. So the opportunity for coders isn't just employment. It's ownership. The shift is pushing people away from get hired to code, toward build something small that works. And if you can pair AI execution with human taste, you can create real value. This is why the panic and the opportunity are happening at the same time. Yes, entry level gets squeezed, but the ability to create goes up. The ladder changes, but the ceiling rises. And the coders who win won't be the ones who memorized frameworks. They'll be the ones who can think, who can design, who can ship, who can handle consequences. AI doesn't end coding. It filters coding. It filters out low-leverage execution, and rewards people who can direct systems with judgment. That's the quiet shift hitting tech. If you want the next episodes on finance, customer service, and where this goes next, subscribe. Because the future doesn't replace everyone. It reorganizes leverage. And the people who learn the new leverage don't disappear. They multiply.